Welcome back to 2C TV. This is your global news channel. I'm Maya 2C, and we are witnessing an absolutely huge night for the anti-IRGC Iranians. A huge victory is happening on the streets of Tehran and other major cities as the Israeli Defense Forces, with the help of Mossad, have now entered the next phase of this war, which is, yes, drone targeted attacks on the IRGC checkpoints across the cities. This was what we were waiting for. Of course, this is the next stage in the liberation of Iran. We have a lot of videos to show you. We have the live feed as usual from Beirut and of course Tel Aviv and elsewhere. But the IRGC are still hitting the neighboring countries. Things are getting very, very heated with Oman. They were hit again, not good. And an Iraqi oil tanker has now been targeted as well. Iraq and Oman, the two allies left. All that's over. But let's go and talk about the checkpoints as they are now getting wiped out. That was the biggest thing, by the way, at this point, because you got the low-ranking IRGC militias who are on the streets trying to prevent the uprising. So they have checkpoints, obviously stopping cars with guns and everything else. Now they're getting targeted, and they're all basically abandoning post over the last few hours. Before we begin, don't forget, limited offer. If you want to support the channel but get something out of it, become a member of 2C TV Plus. You can do it tonight. If you use the promo code LAW50, you will get 50% off annual memberships by going directly on 2c.tv. The promo code only works on the website, not the app. Anyway, let's talk about the situation on the ground. Checkpoints are getting wiped out. The state TV in Iran themselves confirmed that at least 10 have been destroyed, and more happening. Let's quickly go to, the checkpoints like this. This is earlier tonight. We've had a lot of videos like this coming out. So you can see some of them are just walking around with guns, patrolling the areas. They're scattered around, basically. And then they basically stop the cars there. You can see there's like 4 or 5 of them. Shooting at someone for no reason. Yeah, so these are the sort of checkpoints that we've been dealing with, right? Now, this is where it started. Mossad, presumably because they are the ones who have access to the drones right now, unless the IDF are also helping Mossad on this operation directly. Street level footage showing the drone strikes on the Basij, IRGC Basij checkpoints. One person says, here was the checkpoint. It was full. They hit everyone. Everybody's dead. Beautiful, beautiful. It's happening, guys. It's finally happening. Okay. Yeah. Meanwhile, we're also going to talk about the situation in Israel, especially northern Israel. Hezbollah have been launching a huge number of rockets towards the country. Some of them have actually hit mostly the Arab neighborhoods in northern Israel. But someone who can't speak English, Tim, says, FU membership, not membership, some or are skint. I think he's trying to say some of us are skint. So the thing, Tim Potter, the thing about the world that you grew up in, I'm assuming you grew up in the West. So we live in a world and society where we have a market economy, right? Free market capitalism, which means, unlike North Korea or Cuba, nobody's going to put a gun to your head to do anything. Everything is based on voluntary transactions, which means you don't have to become a member. If you want to watch 2C TV on YouTube for free, continue to watch it for free. Nobody's going to force you to take your money or anything like that. But those who want to not just support the channel, but actually get more out of our channel, then obviously they can get full access. Tim, don't worry about it. Save your pennies. All right, let's also go. We have this image. The Israelis have also released their own footage of them hitting the Basij individuals. You can see actually if we go to the beginning. So there's a few of them walking there, dead, and one of them ran away, unlucky. A couple of them here, hit, done. They're getting wiped out, one by one. So that's gone, and they've been loitering around. That's what happens. Just go back home. Now the United States and also the Israelis, they are continuing to target the capital, Tehran, most IRGC bases, and of course the checkpoints getting hit. You can hear the drones, by the way. That's the air defense. Yeah, the air defense system has been activated across the city in Tehran. I think there is another footage that we can show you. As somebody said in the live chat, Graham, to see your channel is being shadow banned by YouTube. That happens every now and then, the algorithm. That's why the two things that you can do is obviously click on the notification bell and click on all. Well, there's another thing you can do if you really care about the channel. If you're going to be committed, you can manually check when we are scheduling or going live. If you're a member of 2CTV Plus, you will get notified by us. So that's another perk of becoming a member of 2CTV Plus and joining our chat forum, our private Discord server. It sends out notifications when we schedule the next live stream. So that's the best way you can actually stay in touch. Now, the Israelis and the Americans obviously controlling the skies over Iran. And there is this audio recording we have between the pilots, between the American and the Israeli pilots, speaking to each other, telling each other, please be safe out there, strike hard. Let's go.
Mobile 97.
Go for 97.
It is a great honor for us to fight with you. You're doing a great job.
Thank you very much. Likewise, gentlemen. Please be safe out there. Strike hard. See ya.
Oh, yes. That goes hard. Yes, it's great to see someone says, you misspelled huge instead of huge. Love it. All right. It's not really just about the ground forces on the streets of Tehran and Isfahan and other places that are getting wiped out right now, which is the next phase of the war. The Israelis and the Americans are now also targeting the financial systems of the Islamic Republic. The whole infrastructure is getting destroyed. The financial heart of the Islamic Republic in Tehran and other cities have been getting hit. One of the main data centers for the IRGC bank, or this Sepah bank, which is the same thing, which is the largest bank for the Islamic Republic of Iran, has now been completely destroyed. We have a short video report from there. Tough night for the IRGC. Effectively, at this point, they're not able to function as a relatively speaking, any entity, because they were relying on their minions on the ground to keep the streets safe. They're getting hit. They were relying on the infrastructure to at least keep the money flowing and so they could steal from the taxpayers. That's getting destroyed. The communications has been hit. The intelligence officers have been destroyed. And right now, it's very, very tough to be a member of the Islamic occupation of Iran. We've just had a confirmation of a targeted assassination in Tehran. Yep, drone strikes. Wow. Okay, let's quickly go to the next one. They've hit a car. There's more happening. Esfahan, the third largest city, is now getting hit as well. And something was confirmed 10 minutes ago. We're going to have to find this in a second. While that comes up, what is happening here? Okay, we'll wait for that. The IRGC, the only thing they have left right now is their own actual supporters. Some of them are members, some of them are basically just relatives to the rest of the leadership. So they're using the state TV to spread propaganda, which is fine, because all war is propaganda. Propaganda comes from all sides. You just have to be good at it. That's the thing. According to the IRGC commander, Fadavi, he went on the state TV and said, it's very likely that the US troops have been captured on the resistance front line. They are claiming that they have captured American soldiers. Okay, darling, let's go.
بسیار آمریکایی‌ها شوکن از این اتفاق. ما در عرصه جبهه مقاومت از نیروهای آمریکایی اسیر گرفتیم. تایید می‌کنید این گفته رو؟
ما یک جبهه هستیم به لحاظ اینکه یک امت هستیم. ولی در هر جایی مستقل از هم عمل میکنن. در عراق مستقل از ما عمل میکنن. ما مستقل از اون عمل میکنیم. در لبنان مستقل عمل، در یمن مستقل عمل میکنن، در همه جا. ما هم این خبر رو شنیدیم و احتمال بسیار بسیار زیاد درست هست. امریکایی‌ها خیلی خودشون رو پهن کردن در منطقه غرب آسیا. این یعنی آسیب پذیری بسیار بسیار شدید.
He's just saying random words. You have no intel. You're just talking nonsense. Even if you think you're telling the truth, your proxies in Iraq and elsewhere are lying to you. It's so embarrassing watching these guys. So, okay, him aside. Hezbollah have been busy tonight. They have been targeting Israel massively. A huge number of rockets have been launched towards the northern parts of Israel. Let's quickly go and see the moments of the attacks and then also the damage in Israel. Yes, at one point they launched 100 rockets at northern Israel. A house was caught on fire. At least one person reported injured. Now, there is one of the things to confirm is also that because northern Israel has been hit and northwestern Israel, just on top of Tel Aviv, a lot of the Arab villages, the Arab Israeli villages have been hit. So, which means that the Hezbollah Islamists are hitting fellow Muslims in Israel. So, well done again, as usual. This is, I think this is actually Kafkana, which is actually the second Arab village that's been hit today. We have a footage. That's the damage, one of the houses. The vast majority are obviously getting intercepted, but there has been a couple of impacts a few impacts across northern Israel. We have a video of the interceptions over the skies of Israel. The Islamic Republic, meanwhile, also launched more ballistic missiles towards the country at the same time as Hezbollah. Yeah, a lot of interceptions, but the Israelis also decided to immediately retaliate, and Beirut is getting hit as we speak. Over the last couple of hours, multiple Hezbollah positions, that includes the official sites, but also the temporary bases, have been targeted in the south of the capital in Beirut. Somebody mentioned the Lego video from Iran. I will show that to you guys, don't worry. But earlier on, the IRGC started hitting random international commercial vessels. They also hit the oil facility in the UAE and also in Oman. I don't understand what they're doing. I don't understand what their strategy is supposed to be. But we have this video that was actually filmed by Chinese sailors near the Fujairah oil storage facility in the UAE. The Patriot interceptors tried to obviously stop 2 of them. And 6 missiles were launched. 1 of them went through. There we go, that's going down, that's going down. There we go, they missed that one. Hang on, there we go, and it's about to hit.
Boom.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah, more interceptions. This is in the United Arab Emirates. Of course, it's been filmed from the Persian Gulf, where the Chinese sailors are based. But they're allowed to do whatever they want, the Chinese. They have permission. Of course. Another one coming down. And hit. Now, the port of Salalah was also hit earlier, as we reported. The fire has now spread to all the fuel storage tanks. The whole thing is escalating, and the authorities have not been able to take control of this emergency. We have the latest video from tonight. That is a mess. I think this is the time when the Persian Gulf Arab countries need to really seriously consider taking proper action instead of just defensive, because you're not going to be able to stop these guys. They're going to continue to launch against you. They're literally using more missiles and drones against the Arabs than against Israel. This is a whole new strategy. I'm not really sure who came up with it, but considering that Ali Khamenei is dead and Khamenei Jr. is in a coma, and Ali Larijani is apparently in charge, so it's probably Ali Larijan's fault, and the guy is not really the mastermind of military. But we also had this earlier footage, another Chinese cargo, because they are, as I said, they're allowed to be there. They filmed another attack. This was the suicide drone attack, the Shahed drones by the IRGC that hit the port of Salalah in Oman. This was the moment of impact. Go down. So that then spread around to all the tankers. Aaron says, is it confirmed that Moab, mother of all bombs, was used? No, it wasn't. They hit a weapons depot with a lot of ammunition in it, and it just went up like a mushroom. It was not the mother of... I can assure you, you would know when it's a Moab. But Saudi Arabia and the Ministry of Defense in Saudi have now released the latest statement on the crisis, confirming that 3 ballistic missiles have now been intercepted and destroyed by the kingdom, launched from Iran, as they were approaching the Prince Sultan airbase. Saudi Arabia managed to obviously stop this nonsense, but they are continuing to repeat their threats against the Islamic Republic that we will take serious action. But they've been saying that for the past few days. We're still waiting for some level of action. The Saudi military are pretty active and busy in Bahrain, because Bahrain is the only country right now that doesn't have just problems with missiles or drones being launched at it. On the ground, we have IRGC militias and forces attacking the Bahrainis. Now, Saudi had to send some of the military forces to go and fight against the Shias because they are getting a little bit too much, and they have to be dealt with. But apart from that, we still have not seen a complete retaliation by Saudi or UAE or Qatar. They have said that it's coming, but we don't know exactly when, we don't know exactly how. Perhaps the Americans told them just step back for a while because we are winning, don't worry about this. They are running out of missile launchers. Perhaps that could be the main reason, but they're still getting hit as we speak. Speaking of the Americans, let's go to President Trump speaking earlier, saying that for the Islamic Republic, it's a war. For us, it actually turned out to be a lot easier than we thought.
You just said it is a little excursion, and you said it is a war. So which one is it?
Well, it's both. It's both. It's an excursion that will keep us out of a war, and the war is going to be. I mean, for them it's a war. For us, it's turned out to be easier than we thought. But think of it: they had thousands of missiles, 8,000 missiles. We got many of them before they got to launch. They have drones all over the place. We got many now. We're knocking out the drone plants, as you know, going fast. They started talking about mines, so we hit 28 mine chips as of this moment, 28. Like using the same weapon, the exact same weapon that we use against the drug dealers in the water. We have, as an example, we had tremendous drugs pouring in through the waters, through the sea. And now we have almost none. It's down 97% through water. Now we'll do it through land. The land is easier than water.
Now we'll do it through land. Well, yeah, of course, land is much easier than doing it otherwise. But one thing is for sure, that the coordination between both the Israelis and the Americans have been absolutely spot on. Which is, you might think that's obvious, but it's not, because you're dealing with two very different type of countries and type of militaries. The IDF and the US military operate differently, and they have different cultures. But their alliance has been proven to be spot on when it comes to the actual operation on the ground. There is also, I think we have another video of, 2 foreign oil tankers now been confirmed. They were actually carrying Iraqi fuel oil, have now been attacked in the Persian Gulf. They are so stupid. But there is a problem here for the Islamic Republic, because they were actually attacked within the Iraqi territorial waters. But the Iraqis are not going to do anything about this, because why would they? This is the result. So interesting. Wait, what? This comment says use Tusi as a guide to he is very one-sided. If we are one-sided, if we were one-sided, then obviously we would only report one side, right? We would only, for example, report the successful attacks by the Israelis and the Americans. That would be one-sided. We wouldn't show Israel, northern Israel, getting hammered by Hezbollah rockets tonight. We wouldn't show the US bases getting attacked. We wouldn't show all the other mess that the IRGC are causing. We show both the successes of the IRGC and the humiliation of the IRGC. If you think that's one-sided, then you might need a new therapist, because I can't help you with that. Now, crazy comments as usual. There is we have a couple of things I need to verify first. Esfahan, as I said, has been hit. There is a video that we've received. I'm not going to show that yet because we have to confirm and verify before that. So don't want to obviously spread fake news. Before we get to that, I think we can go live to Beirut as the situation. There's still a bit of smoke over the skies. And where are we with the latest? Yes, we have a statement from the Israeli Defense Forces saying that Hezbollah unleashed a devastating blow. And that's the one-sided reporting of Tusi TV, by the way, apparently. Confirming that, yes, there was a devastating blow by Hezbollah on Israel. The IDF have also said, so we will respond to them with a devastating blow in return. If Hezbollah is feeding on the illusions of strikes, let it know that the IDF's strikes bounce back on them twofold. What is coming is greater. Well, that was a little bit sassy by the IDF. Amazing. Let's have a look. We got David saying, reports suggest that the United States may lose the war and retreat. What reports are you listening to? Tucker Carlson. How accurate is this? Have you not seen the evidence on the ground instead of listening to anti-war nonsense channels or whatever the reports coming out of Massey or the US Democrats? We have the evidence on the ground. The IRGC Navy annihilated. The IRGC's missiles were running out. The launchers destroyed. And they've lost their leaders. The rest of them are hiding in a hospital while the leadership of the United States are having coffee as we speak in their own houses. Which one do you think is winning? I wonder. I don't understand where people get these reports. What? Who? We didn't do it. Oh, yes, same comment. Daniel says, pass Trump, SAVE Act, or America will stop fighting. Will there be something similar to the US Constitution's Second Amendment that guarantees the right to firearms in the new government? I wish they had the means to physically resist today. Yeah, I highly doubt. It's very difficult to sell the idea, the concept of the Second Amendment in the 21st century. It's very difficult. I'm very much in favor of it, especially in the United States, but Americans might not fully, because obviously you guys take it for granted, right? Because you have it, and you're like, well, yeah, obviously it makes sense. If you're dealing with a country that doesn't have it and never had it, introducing it is a little bit of an alien concept. But yeah, it's highly unlikely. Please give more translations for videos. We did. They are saying behind the cameras, keep up the good. I literally did that. I translated what they were saying when I showed the videos. Tusi, since people keep bringing up Trump's involvement in the new leader of Iran, yeah, stop listening to people. Remind them all that he said he's not going to allow it to go from one terrorist to another. Also, mouse taba, nice memes to cut off one leg. The cardboard supreme leader. Yes, I mean the priority is to just not approve any replacement leader that is part of the Islamic regime, because the goal is to remove the regime, not the leader. This is not Venezuela. There's an occupation in Iran. And someone says, yeah, if Tusi doesn't translate, then it's not Iran. Yeah, but there was a couple of Iraqis who were just shouting, saying, they're hit. Not really worth translating one word because it was obvious, and also they were speaking Arabic. If there's a sentence or something meaningful, we always translate it. Either put subtitles or I translate it. Here in Tel Aviv, we got missiles from Lebanon and Iran at the same time. Very chaotic. Thank God we are safe. Thank you for giving us the news and the real stories. God bless you. Thank you so much, Mr. Rainbow. Are these attacks in Iran affecting every day the living of the Iranians? Well, yeah, well, they're not going to work. They're staying at home and the banking system has collapsed. It's war. But as long as they stay at home, they are relatively safe. Unless you live next to an IRGC base, it's not safe, of course. But we can now confirm the reports from Esfahan. This is a joint attack by Israel and the United States happening right now as we speak. I'm going to quickly take you there. And then we'll come back and show you the Lego propaganda in case you haven't seen it, because that's actually the best part of today. Which came out last night, by the way, but it's still important. Okay, let's quickly go to Esfahan, the latest video showing the IRGC positions getting hit by the Allies. Okay, let's have a look. To the credit of the Islamic Republic, one thing I can praise them for in terms of their performance, not in terms of morality, they don't have that, but in terms of performance, they were very good because they learned from the 12-day war. Immediately retreat the main leaders, I mean, apart from the surprise start, which they've lost basically the huge number of the top leaders, but those who have now been promoted immediately retreat into hospitals. The only problem with that strategy is that it works for a few days. If you're planning to hide in a hospital for the next few months, you're not going to be able to run the country. But they were able to also move a lot of their imminent operational bases to temporary places. So there had to be a whole new operation, intelligence operation by both CIA and Mossad over the last few months to identify and detect new activity on the ground, which of course that was also part of the reason that this operation before the war started had to take some time to warm up because it wasn't going to be instant. There were a lot of changes that were made by the IRGC. The only problem is that they, as I've been also criticizing them on this issue, they've had 47 years to consider all scenarios, including what's happening now, and they still managed to be disappointing. How can you be this incompetent when you've known for decades that you wanted this war, you asked for it, and you're still not ready? Let's go to what the Islamic Republic genuinely released. This is not a meme. This is what they actually released, the IRGC. Watch this. Lego. IRGC Lego. Only thing they've seen and heard was me saying, very haram, cover your hair. They're going to be like, this is such an IRGC channel. No, you wish. I am not Sneeko. Okay, so Beirut, how are things over there? Live in Lebanon. Oh, we just missed another one. Basically, there is a tradition now during this war. I leave the live feed for 2 seconds, the Israelis hit. It's like they are literally watching. They're like, okay, Myotis is not watching. Hit. Every single time, I miss the hits. Well, thanks, IDF. Where were we with the reactions? Someone says bank. Why do they need a bank? There is no money. What? Dear Maya, super greetings from Malta. I love the pilot's conversation. I'm Israel Chai, Jarvis Shot. See, when they zoomed in, that means they hit, obviously. Now they zoomed out, so it's calmed down. Although I can hear something. I can hear some sort of fighter jet. Unless it's wind. Kevin, real news. Thank you, 2C, watching from Houston. Oh, camera's moving. Come on, are you going to zoom in? I'm not missing another hit. The Israeli Air Force, if you're listening to this, this is the time you hit. Not when I change the view. Don't worry, 2C has said that it will be a 90% off. 2C said there will be 90% off annual memberships when the crown prince, instead of prince, arrives in Tehran. I did not say that. 100% discount. No, we have a new plan. We are going to be making a huge announcement soon after the current discount code, which is LAW50. You get 50% off annual memberships, which will be the introduction of lifetime memberships, which, by the way, unlike other rival channels, I'm not going to name names. You know who they are. They're great people, by the way. They're still conservative leaning. But we're not going to charge a fortune because that's just stupid. Why would you pay over $1,000 or $2,000 for lifetime membership? It's going to be much less than that, but it will give you lots of benefits. But the only difference is the other channels, the other platforms, their lifetime membership is always activated. You can join whenever. That's why it's like $2,000, whatever it is. Sometimes more. But we have limited openings, like what's happening in Beirut. It's limited. It comes and goes, and they keep missing the hits. Same with the 2CTV Plus lifetime memberships. When I make the announcement, it will come and it will go. So it will be for a day and it will go. It will come back when the 12th Shia Imam returns, Mahdi. Goldie Ramari is in the live chat from Canada saying 2C going full Haydar. Haydar. It's the most stupid thing the Shias came up with. And they came up with a lot of stupid things for the past few centuries, including the fact that their 12th Imam, who went out one night, got drunk and disappeared. They said, yeah, he will come back at some point when the end of the world comes. That's the only time they're going to find him, apparently. It's so ridiculous, even Sunnis make fun of it. If you get mocked by Sunnis, you're doing something wrong. We also do have this update from the FBI. They did confirm that they have alerted the Californian authorities and the governor of California, Gavin Newsom, that there might be an issue and a threat from the West Coast, or towards the West Coast, by the IRGC drones. Now, we don't exactly know the degree of the assessment of the threat. This is what the FBI have announced, but obviously take everything seriously because anything could happen at any moment. But I'm not really sure what they're actually assessing, what they're talking about. It's not necessarily that the IRGC have some sort of secret base in Japan, but they would be planning things from the sea, perhaps, or whatever, because obviously they can move away from China and elsewhere. But FBI are quite serious that there might be a threat to the west coast of the United States, specifically California. Did somebody behind the camera just open the zip, the bag? And I genuinely thought that was a strike. And thanks for truthful reporting, watching from Rhode Island. Thank you so much, everybody. I think I can hear a drone. Or a tiny, tiny plane. Someone said, why California? It's a blue state. Yeah, I don't think the IRGC really care much about the difference between the Democrats and the Republicans. To be fair, they would hate California quite a lot because it's what the Shia Muslims would call extremely degenerate. LA alone, I would say from the perspective of the IRGC, should be wiped out. Somebody just insulted me. You look like a senator or congressman. How dare you? I would rather die in a ditch than get back into frontline politics. That's terrible. I take it as a compliment, by the way, but that also means I'm slimy. So Okay, so let me just get the latest from our sources. What is happening? I've received so many messages. I don't even know what's going on. It is interesting because if the IRGC, the low-ranking IRGC members, so these are the Basij units. Oh, we have a video of one of their checkpoints getting targeted tonight. Which is the whole point of this report, by the way. The checkpoints have been getting attacked by primarily the Israelis. And but one thing is for sure, is that if they do lose the low-ranking IRGC Basij members who are currently patrolling the streets and controlling the checkpoints, whether they die or they run away and basically surrender, it still technically doesn't mean that the Islamic Republic as a regime has fallen, but they have lost total control. The only issue is, when will the leadership who are currently hiding in hospitals realize that they've lost everybody? So this could, again, we are at a phase where the collapse could be so quick because nobody's expecting it. Everyone's saying, well, they're still going. You know, they're getting hammered, but they're still going. It could be so quick because they realize, okay, everybody's running away, so we're going to have to run away. They're not going to surrender. Ali Larijani, Ghalibaf, the presidents, all these other, the people at the top, they're not going to surrender. You're going to have to either kill them or they're going to have to run away. Or it could just be that they will lose their main bases and the actual personnel on the streets, but they will still basically hide and operate. And they will just be like Saddam Hussein, which took ages since the first day of war in Baghdad and the collapse, the immediate collapse of the Iraqi government in 2003. It still took ages to find Saddam Hussein. Let's go to the video that we just received from tonight. Another checkpoint getting targeted by the Israeli drones. Whoopsie. Slow motion. You see how precise and targeted these attacks are. Yeah, everything is extremely precise. That's why they're using drones rather than missiles, because if you use a missile, you're going to hit the civilians in the area. But they have to also wait for the right moment in order to hit them. So there are not many civilians around them. We have Nancy, who's fallen for the propaganda of the IRGC side, which is, by the way, everybody is trying to debunk all this propaganda stuff. There's a lot of people on the right side of history who is going around trying their best on social media to fight back against the likes of Tucker Carlson and all the others spreading propaganda, right? Don't bother. Let them enjoy it and enjoy them enjoying it. Trust me, because you can see the truth. You can see what's going on. For example, we got this person, Nancy, saying, you are, the letter R, she's so lazy she can't actually put A and E at the end. You are peddling propaganda. Pot kettle. Yeah. Vev US, one word, whatever that is. I think that means the US are getting pummeled. Okay. Now, there are people, a lot of you lovely people, who are trying your best to keep fighting back against this on social media, right? And I was doing it a couple of weeks back. It's like, oh, this is a lie. I'm going to debunk this. Don't. This is the only thing they have. Don't take it away from them. Because, as I said, you know the truth. We know what's going to happen. And we know the outcome eventually. And weeks from now, months from now, years from now, centuries from now, decades from now, they're always going to remember that they were saying this. They're going to be their own worst enemy. So let them enjoy it. Because there is this, also because this propaganda is not actually that good. So all war is propaganda. All wars, all sides. That's the point of it. But there is propaganda that you claim that you're winning. So Pakistan, when they were getting destroyed by India a few months back, a year ago, they were celebrating saying we won. Everybody laughed at them because they're like, the war's over. We can see how many you've lost in terms of damage to your military and what happened to India, right? That was funny. And Nancy is highly likely to be Pakistani as well, because a lot of the trolls, a lot of the bots as well are from Pakistan. There's that propaganda, which is pretending to be actually winning. That's the funny one. But there's also propaganda which is trying to come up with the victimhood mentality. So what's been going on in Gaza since 2023? Now that is harder. And that is you actually have to challenge it. You have to actually debunk it, because they go around saying, so Bibi Netanyahu just came to Gaza himself. He walked into Gaza, he picked up 6 babies and he ate them. And there are people who actually believe that. That is not the same propaganda as, for example, Gaza is winning. They didn't do that because they knew that was just too stupid. They wanted to go with the propaganda of, oh, we're such victims. You know, we've done nothing wrong. We were just like sitting here and the evil Jews came and attacked us. But then part of that propaganda is that because they're attacking, they're basically slandering the Jews, saying that they are evil. That becomes dangerous. So you have to debunk that. But this sort of stuff, because you know the truth, you can see the good thing about the way we do the reporting is that we actually show you the evidence. Every time we say something, we actually show you the video evidence or the statements or the pictures. And we know that eventually, just like the India-Pakistan conflict, well, the truth is going to come out. So let them have fun. Let them go around saying, there was another one that's been spread around today, that Tel Aviv has been flattened. Tel Aviv has been destroyed. Tusi, tell the truth, right? Here is the truth. We have the live feed right now from Tel Aviv. Look how flattened this is. It's been completely destroyed, ladies and gentlemen. Although they're probably going to say this is AI, but this is our official live feed from Reuters as well. But you could also get on a helicopter from Jordan or Lebanon or Egypt, whatever you choose, and you could fly around and you could see it for yourself. What was the other one? That, the American soldiers have been captured. Now, you could say a lot about President Trump. You could say a lot about the United States, which, by the way, is the best country in the world. But they still operate on a level of basic transparency and morality, which means if a soldier is captured and the government is not admitting, their families are going to find out, where is my relative? Where is my son? They're going to go to the papers. They're going to go to the media. They're going to go to CNN. They're going to go to Al Jazeera. And then people will realize, oh, wait, hang on. There are a couple of soldiers that are missing. President Trump, are you lying? It's not really that difficult to expose if hypothetically the US government decides to hide a very crucial information that their soldiers have been captured, right? It's not really that difficult to expose it. So let them go and spread that propaganda, because it makes them feel good. We've been taking everything away from them. We've been taking away their cause, their personnel, their money, their bases, their proxies. They've lost everything. Let them have their delusional nonsense. Anyway, it's crazy stuff. So yeah, Tel Aviv flattened, as you can see. But the most important thing is 2 things. Number 1, limited offer. Become a member of 2CTV Plus now. You can get 50% off annual memberships if you like more propaganda, as they say. Use the promo code LAW50, and you can only use the code on 2c.tv, not the app. Go directly on the website. Don't try on the app. It's not going to work. And only for annual memberships. They're new accounts, obviously, not monthly. That's the first thing. And second thing is tomorrow at, I forgot the time. Oh, it's on the screen. 7 p.m. GMT or 3 p.m. Eastern Time, we are doing the public release of our 2CTV Plus documentary, October 7th, Beyond Survival. Special premiere live on this channel, on YouTube, for free. Watch along with me. Obviously, this is going to be a relatively self-censored version, a limited version. The full uncensored version is on 2C TV Plus. Again, go on the website 2c.tv. But because we can't actually publish the full uncensored because YouTube will block it, obviously. There's a lot of graphic images and videos. But it's a very important documentary that we worked hard on. Well, the team did. I'm just a puppet. And so make sure to tune in tomorrow for that. Of course, we're going to continue our live coverage of this conflict. Subscribe to the channel on Maya 2C, and we are the media.